Hey kids, it's Mrs. Davis here at home with another math lesson for you. So in our last several math sessions, we've been taking two-dimensional shapes, whole shapes, and fractioning them, partitioning them, dividing them into equal parts. We learned that you can take a one straight line and partition a 2D shape so that you can look at the whole shape and see that it is divided into halves, two halves of a whole, and if you take one part of that, you've taken one half of that shape. We also learned that you could take two straight lines and fraction, partition, divide a two-dimensional shape into four equal parts. When we do that, we call that fourths or quarters, and if we shade one part of that shape that is partitioned into four equal parts, we call that a fourth of that shape. A fourth is shaded, or a quarter of that shape is shaded. Now today, you guys are going to be working and focusing on equal parts. Yes, you're going to be deciding, judging, evaluating some shapes that I'm going to show you. These shapes are all partitioned, and I want you to decide with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If the shape is partitioned equally, thumbs up. But if the shape is not partitioned equally, thumbs down. All right, here we go. Let me grab my shapes. And let's get started. Remember, thumbs up if that shape is partitioned equally, or thumbs down if it's not. Shape number one. Here we go. It's a triangle. It's partitioned. Thumbs up if it's partitioned equally, thumbs down if it's not. Remember that wherever those lines are, all the spaces have to be the same size. All right, let's look at this shape. Partitioned equally, yes or no. Thumbs up, thumbs down. How about this one? Thumbs up if it's partitioned equally, thumbs down if it's not. All right, here we go. Here's a rectangle. Partitioned equally, not partitioned equally. Remember, you decide with a thumbs up or thumbs down. Here's a slice of a circle. Equal, each side, not equal. Okay, triangle, partitioned equally, yes or no. How you doing? I think you're probably doing really, really well. Hey, here's a rectangle. There is a partition. Is it partitioned equally or not? Another rectangle. There are four parts. Is each section equal in size? Yes or no? How about this shape? Semicircle. There's the partition. Equal or no? Another rectangle. You're deciding if this rectangle is partitioned in two equal parts or not. Here's another rectangle, but this time we've got 1, 2, 3 sections. Is this rectangle partitioned equally? Yes or no? Our final one, another semicircle. If you think this semicircle is partitioned equally, yes or no. All right, well, I hope that was fun for you. How do you think you did, evaluators? I know you guys are great mathematicians. I know you did really well. Okay, now we're going to take a little quiz. This time you're going to get your spiral. I've already gotten my spiral prepared, and you know, I've been thinking, one thing I've been forgetting to do on our activities is put the date. So this is when I prepared this activity, and I'm not sure when you're going to be working on this. So whatever day you work on this, go ahead and write the date at the top. And today you're going to be numbering your spiral from 1 to 7 because we're going to take a little quiz now. This time, instead of thumbs up for yes and thumbs down for no, you're going to actually be writing yes and no. I'm going to show you some shapes, some more shapes. You're going to decide if the shape is partitioned equally or not. If it is, yes. If it's not, then say no, and then we'll check it. All right, here we go. Go ahead and get your spiral ready. I'll be here. You know I'm always here when you get back. All right, hopefully you are ready. Here we go, evaluators. Here's number 1. It's a circle. Is it partitioned equally, yes or no? Write that on your spiral. We're not doing thumbs up, thumbs down. Now we're going to write it down on this spiral. Yes, if it is, and no, if it's not. Now here's number 2. It's a square. There is a line that is dividing this square. Is it divided equally, yes or no? All right, let's look at a rectangle this time. Partitioned equally, yes or no. You're writing again on your spiral. Here's a triangle. Is this triangle partitioned equally, yes or no? So here's the line, the dividing line. Yes or no on that spiral. Don't forget, I'm taking your little quiz. Here's number 5. This one, is it divided into equal parts, yes or no? Here's number 6. Is that circle partitioned into equal parts, yes or no? And then finally, look at number 7. It's a rectangle. There is a partition here, but are the sides of that line partitioned in an equal way? All right, hopefully you've gotten those all ready to go. Now we're going to check. So what you're going to do is you're going to get something to check with. You can use a marker or a colored pencil. You can give this a spiral to a family member to check, or you can check it yourself. I trust you. I know you're going to decide if you got it correct or not. If you did, you're going to put a check mark. If not, just circle it. And if you didn't get one of these correct, I want you to just think about maybe what you were noticing, and maybe why you thought it was equal or not equal. So you're going to be reflecting on maybe why you missed one. All right, here we go. Let's check. So number 1 is, and I'm going to go ahead and get my marker and write down. This one is a no. So no. It's not. You can see most definitely that one side is bigger than the other. Number 2 is equally divided. So number 2 was a yes. All right. And if you got that right, just put a check. Number 3, this rectangle, and isn't it interesting how it makes 2 squares? That is a yes. That one is divided equally. Yes. Okay. All right, you had to evaluate a triangle, and you can see that the top is smaller than the bottom. So this one is not partitioned equally. So number 4 is a no. All right, looking at this shape right here, we have 2 parts. This is actually a square, and when we fractioned it, we've got 2 rectangles, and that one is a yes. So that one is partitioned equally. Hopefully you're doing really well. All right, a circle, and that one is partitioned equally with a diagonal. partitioning line. And then finally, number 7. Hopefully you got that one right. That is definitely not partitioned equally. No way. If this was being shared with Mr. Davis and Mrs. Davis, and we cut this, if it was a cookie or a cracker, and we partitioned this, and I gave Mr. Davis that slice, he would not be happy. Not equal. All right, so here is the answer key right here. So how did you do? I'm pretty sure that you did really well with that activity. All right, now here's what you're going to do on your own. There's a sheet in packet number 2, and it is titled Equal Parts. There is a grid right here, a little organizer, and at the top it's titled Equal and Not Equal. So go ahead and put your name on this paper and the date. Let's get back in that habit. And then what you're going to do at the bottom, I like to, when I'm working on, oops, drop my scissors. When I'm working on a cutting activity and I have something at the bottom, you know I love to cut off the bottom because then I don't have all these little paper scraps hanging down. And then this one is sectioned. There are 12 small little squares, but I like to go ahead and trim everything up before I actually get started. And then what I suggest, just to keep yourself organized, I want you to cut all of these little boxes. I want you to be really careful. There is a dashed line separating those shapes from each other, and it's kind of tiny, so just be really careful. I would suggest to you that you cut all of these out, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 6 is 12, and you can lay them in 2 rows on the floor or on the table wherever you're working, and I would turn them in a way that I could see all of them. And what you're thinking about with this activity is you're judging, evaluating, deciding if each of the shapes is partitioned equally. Now some of these have, they're partitioned in half, and some of them are partitioned in thirds, and some of them are partitioned in more ways. So in first grade, we're thinking about halves and fourths, but you're able, I'm pretty sure, to work on looking and thinking about and judging if a shape, if each of the slices has an equal amount of space. So that's what this activity is about. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut out, and you're going to be gluing these 12 shapes into a category, equal or not equal. So that's your activity that you're working on today on your own. And again, if you would post some pictures, send those pictures, take them and just share them with me via email or on Blooms. I want to see all the good work you're doing. All right, you've got some work to do now on deciding if these 2-dimensional shapes are equal or not equal. All right, get busy, and I'll see you in our next math session.